How's it going, everybody? Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sundays, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And it's Fun Friday here on the show. Fun Friday. And we'll be joined for a fun conversation today by Lance Storm. Nothing says fun like Lance Storm. You can't spell fun without Lance Storm. So he's going to be on the show today, and we'll talk about a lot of the news, and then probably we will get into a bunch of other stuff, including perhaps a live Q&A, which you can participate in on our YouTube channel, f4wonline.com/YouTube, or twitch.tv/f4wvideo. Both of those available, or you can send me your text messages at 425-780-7566. But we're going to flow with the go, as they say, because we got to see how things go in terms of news. We got SmackDown coming up tonight. A lot there. We have got Collision coming up on Saturday night. Sunday is Slammiversary, which we're going to talk to Lance about here on the show. And then all of the news, including Buff Bagwell's leg amputation, the All-In business notes from last weekend, the return to Wembley, Dynamite and NXT ratings, Jelly Roll has got some appearances coming up for WWE, and someone new is linked with Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff for their Real American Freestyle Wrestling, which is set to debut in 6 weeks, August 30th. And I guess we'll have to find out how that show's doing, because last we checked, not well. So all of that and plenty more here today. Back in a moment with old Lance Storm, Wrestling Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Jared, put old Granny on. Let's see what she's up to. Oh, man, she's doing something. Oh, Lord.
She's trying to plug in the box, Brian.
Granny can't connect. And so I call her on the phone, and she alerts us that she apparently knocked the box off her desk. Whatever's happening right there, that doesn't look good. She knocked down the camera now? What's going on?
She's got a hold of the camera, I think.
She's... Okay. Well, we've got the ceiling at least. There's the box. Hey, we got the box, Jared. Does it look like it's plugged in?
No.
It's definitely not on.
No.
Okay. That's her back, I believe. She appears to be doing something.
Apparently yoga.
That's her hair. Are we sure that's not Ric Flair? Now she's got to find the phone, too.
Think anyone's going to still subscribe after the show?
I hope we get a bunch of video signups. This is interesting.
Is it now?
Oh, man, we can almost see the front of the tie line to see if it's on. But we can't. We can only see the side of it, as well as a flashlight and dice. I don't know why there are dice there.
Well, you never know when you're going to play dice in the dark.
She's still doing something.
That's good radio, boss.
Show that again, what's she doing?
You know what's a good show is the Big V show.
Is it?
Or reviewed Poet Armenia 2025.
She might be tying her shoe or something.
Ed and San Antonio show.
Granny is furiously doing something. It's possible that we should sabotage the box every week.
No!
So that she can, get up and down, like Roddy Piper once said. No, I know. I'm calling you. Phone. I'm calling you. Oh, my God. How are you?
I'm exhausted. Oh, I want to tell Vinny I watched his show today.
Thank you, Granny. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Good. That sounded very sincere.
Stunning review. Well,
Anyway.
can we please make that into a commercial, Jared, for Vinny's show? Apple Podcast carries every podcast that we produce.
Oh, I want to tell Vinny I watched his show today.
Thank you, Granny. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Good.
So check it out, f4wonline.com/Apple. Try your free trial today. What is happening here? Yes, Granny?
I don't care if it's show or what. My computer went out and I can't fix it.
Okay. Jared, can you fix Granny's computer?
But he tried to get a pin.
I am Steve.
Brian, what are you doing?
Now my child is sending me a voice message.
Steel chicken jockey.
Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Lance, I heard you and Filthy killed it yesterday.
Yes, we jumped the gun and had fun on Thursday.
God, job's yours. This is it, everybody. I'm out of here. I've been waiting for the day. No. It will be good for you guys to be able to step in here and there, though. Because
Yeah,
you never know.
I can't imagine it's the last time Tom and I will do a show together.
Well, Thursdays during the school year is going to be tough, so we'll have to figure something out for... And you did an extra show this week because I guess you got a lot going on next week, right?
Yeah, I do. I've got a pay-per-view on Sunday and live TV Thursday and a taping on Friday.
So they're doing... Why didn't they do the, Thursday, Friday, Sunday instead of Sunday and then the following... You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's because
I guess you've got to... Yeah, you can't...
You've got to start new, fresh TV after this live pay-per-view.
I guess so. It's just inconvenient timing.
It's travel-wise for a guy that lives out west, very much so.
Clearly, you need to just move.
That's not happening at this point, brother.
All right. Well, tonight we have SmackDown. We have got the contract signing between John Cena and Cody Rhodes, meaning they will be under one roof. That's how it was billed. That means they'll both be there. We have Fraxium against the Motor City Machine Guns, Andrade and Rey Fenix and DIY in a number one contenders match for the tag team titles. This SmackDown tag division, I'll get into that in a second. Charlotte Flair and Raquel, Stephanie and Alba, and Jacob Fatu will appear. So, it's funny because, they always say that SmackDown has the best tag team division in the world. And if you're a big AEW fan, you might argue that, but I mean, it's a pretty freaking good tag team division, the SmackDown tag team division. And you've got all of these great teams, and this started long before WrestleMania, because Tom and I were reviewing SmackDown for months at the beginning of this year. And it was okay, well, they're doing all this stuff. All the tag teams are intermingling and mixing, and they're just all wrestling each other. Clearly we're going to have a multi-person match at WrestleMania. And then, it'll kind of settle down into, normal booking. Well, now it's July 18th, and we've literally been seeing the same thing now for 7 months or more. It's just we have all of these tag teams, and there's no real story to it other than we just wrestle each other every week. And, that's fine and all, but I would prefer if, we had to set a tag team, I don't know. It's just, the point is the way they're booking this doesn't excite me at all. And I like all of the tag teams. It's just wow, we got another 4-way with 4 of the tag teams. I feel like I've seen that 16 times in the last 7 months.
Yep, they've got a half a dozen great tag teams, and a bunch of them will wrestle each other every week.
So that's cool, I guess. But I've been there, done that multiple times. So then we have Collision on Saturday, and it was taped last night, no spoilers, but we got Shibata versus Roosh, which sounds awesome.
Sounds dangerous.
We have Dustin Rhodes doing a promo, so MJF, I would presume, gets involved. I actually haven't even seen the spoilers, so I guarantee there are no spoilers in this lineup here. Megan Bayne versus Ty Mello with everybody banned from ringside. Alex Windsor and Taya Valkyrie. Ricochet and AR Fox. Kevin Knight, Mike Bailey, Bandito, and Mascara Dorada versus Trent Beretta, Rocky Romero, Hechicero, and Josh Alexander. So that is Saturday, Collision Saturday this week. And then we have got Slammiversary. And that's Sunday. And we have some additions. I guess yesterday you guys went back and forth about whether AJ Styles would be there or not. Is that right?
Well, I don't think we went back and forth.
You just presumed
we discussed it.
Okay, well, he's going to be there.
Yeah.
Okay. So AJ Styles will be there, although we don't know what he's going to do. There was a video package on television, and I presume it'll just be an appearance. I mean, I can't imagine you would have an unadvertised wrestling match with AJ Styles.
Well, we tend to do a Hall of Fame induction at Slammiversary, so that's my guess with no inside knowledge at all.
I think that that's very likely. I also would not be surprised at all if AJ was responsible for Trick getting beaten in some way. Because, I mean, there is a relationship between AEW, or between TNA and WWE. And, you know, WWE people have won TNA belts, and at some point the belts need to go back. And TNA people have beaten WWE people, but it's usually lower card people. And it is time for Trick to lose that title, probably to Mike Santana. I think Santana should pin Trick. And I can just see the mindset of, well, we'll let Mike Santana win the title from Trick, but AJ might cost that guy that belt some way or another.
Yeah,
so it's still a WWE guy, you know.
I don't see that. I actually saw a clip where AJ was talking with Chris Van Vliet, and he mentioned that he would be open to a return match in TNA. And again, no booking knowledge whatsoever. I could see him, and I think it's a great story. Should Leon Slater win the X title, have AJ present him with it, and do an angle for a Moose versus AJ Styles match, which I think would be, to pardon the pun, phenomenal.
So we've got Trick, Joe, and Santana, triple threat for the TNA title. Masha Slamovich versus JC Jane for both belts. The winner will leave with both belts, the Knockouts title and the NXT Women's title. I would presume that will be JC Jane after the angle on NXT. We have got Nick and Ryan Nemeth against the Hardys, Trey Miguel and Zach Wentz, and AJ Francis and Casey Navarro in a ladder match. That should be wild. Champion Moose versus Leon is noted. Tessa Blanchard versus Indy Hartwell. Mustafa, I'm actually fascinated by that match because Tessa is like a fantastic worker. Indy was the very opposite of that in NXT. But like every time I've seen her in TNA, it's been like not bad at all. So
she's been doing great.
I actually think that match is going to be pretty good. Maybe the best match Indy's ever had. Ali versus Cedric Alexander. Matt Cardona, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, and JDC versus Dark State. I guess that's built off that TNA deal on Tuesday. And then for the pre-show, we have Ash and Heather by Elegance versus Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay, the former Iconics. Yeah. And Steve Macklin, Jake Something, and Mance Warner versus Real One, who is the former Enzo Amore, Zilla Fatu, and Josh Bishop. These are some matches.
Yep, some guys from Fourth Rope, I guess, and it's going to be a heck of a show.
Wow. So that is that. After a 5-year battle to save his right leg, Buff Bagwell has undergone an amputation. Hopefully it will improve his quality of life. He had a car accident in 2020 and spent like 5 years trying to save his leg. And eventually they told him that, well, you have two options. Amputate it, or you can undergo 3 more surgeries over the next year, countless hours of physical therapy, and it'll still only have a 20% chance of being saved. So he was like, let's get rid of it. And he would have had a steel rod in his leg for the rest of his life. So he had it amputated. He is going to get a prosthetic. And, you know, he's actually very positive about it. He wants to get a prosthetic. He wants to learn to walk with the prosthetic, and he wants to get back into the ring, and he wants to do another match to prove that you can still have a great life without a leg. And so he says he's sober. He says, I would prefer to be sober with one leg than be the Buff Bagwell from WCW making money in the funk that I was in. So we can talk Lance's thoughts on Buff after the break. Observer Live. Check out this free video and make sure you hit like and subscribe. Hey, listen, we're going to start with the real main event of the weekend. We witnessed with our own eyes Minoru Suzuki versus Butterbean with Dan Severn as the special guest referee. The worst match in the history of professional wrestling.
We all knew it was going to be a train wreck.
Oh, yeah.
I said, this is going to be a train wreck. I want to see this train wreck. I must see this train wreck.
I will give credit to Butterbean. Butterbean was very, very fat, and I don't think that he could walk. And he spent a lot of time with DDP.
Yes.
Did a lot of DDP yoga.
Yes.
And DDP literally got him back on his feet.
Yeah.
The entire first round is just like standing there. And the brawling's kind of like, and Suzuki throws, he finally gives him a good one. How'd you like that one? So Butterbean falls to the ground by holding onto the top rope, squatting down a little, grabbing the middle rope, squatting down a little further, and then he lays on the ground. The crowd's chanting "Fight Forever," which sounds like a horrible idea.
Yes.
So the ring announcer says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have just heard from the special enforcer, Dan the Beast Severn. He has ruled that the match is a double countout." And the fans are like, "What? Boo!" And they're all angry. And I'm like, this is the most ballsy match I've ever seen. I heard a rumor that Suzuki was talking to someone before the show about this match. And he was like, "This match, very bad." And the person was like, "Minoru, dude, it's going to be fine. Like, you can do this. You're great. This match is going to end up fine." And Suzuki said, "No." That was it. Okay. And I got in just in time to see Minoru Suzuki versus the Sex Doll. And people were very upset that I did not refer to the Sex Doll by her name.
Yoshihiko.
I have great respect for the Sex Doll as a non-person because the Sex Doll is not a person. But there's a reason.
It's a doll.
There's a reason.
For sex.
Is he going to wrestle a sex doll and have a better match with a doll than he had with Butterbean? And the answer is yes.
Emphatically. The Butterbean match exposed the business much more than this match.
Yes, in fact it did.
The match with the Sex Doll was far more realistic. It was far more believable. It was far more credible. I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating or making this up.
I like to hear that Buff is cleaned up. Hopefully that's the case. I do remember he was on the show once, and it was an all-timer. He was not in a good state of mind, and people have been talking about that show for years. So hopefully he's all cleaned up, and hopefully he does get back in the ring someday and have a match.
Although that's one thing, and again, I wish Buff all the best. But having I want to get back into the ring to prove, that life can go on and so forth. It's like, stay sober, stay positive, and live a happy life as a good person with your prosthetic. Like, I don't know, and I don't like with I want to get back in the ring so that I can prove this. It's like, if you want to get back in the ring, by all means, go ahead. But being an example and a positive motivator for people, just requires you to stay sober, stay positive, and live a good life post-amputation. Like, that's a success. I think us in the wrestling business always try to equate success in the wrestling business as being this giant milestone and proving of worth. And it's like, I think we can have great worth outside of the wrestling business. So stay positive, stay sober, and all the best. And I hope he lives a good, long, happy life, match or no match.
When I was a kid in the 80s and 90s, it was always like, if you were a success in wrestling, you didn't have a real job. Like, a real success in wrestling, you made your living in wrestling. You didn't need a real job. And then as I've gotten older, it's like, I have the most respect for people that got out and just got a real job. That's the big success.
Well, if you remember, when I was in Seattle, we did a Q&A after you wrestled that jobber in the mask. And someone asked me about success and how I define success. And it's like, it's different for everyone. If you have a real job and wrestle once a month on the indies and you're happy, then you're a success. If you are the biggest star in the history of the business and you're happy, then you're a success. Define your own success with happiness in life, and don't worry necessarily about what others think and the fame that goes with a certain job.
So All In was last week. Dave had some business notes in the Observer. It appears the show did approximately 175,000 buys, which I think is exactly what I predicted. Thank you very much. And that would put it fourth all-time between the 2021 All Out, which did 205, 2023 All In, which did 200, and the 2024 Revolution, which did 180. Tony Khan said it was the best performing pay-per-view they'd done on Amazon Prime. Merchandise, 1.2 million, 725,000 for All In, the rest from StarCast. Largest ever for a non-WWE show in either U.S. or Canada. Even accounting for inflation. That's a new thing now where everybody is like, we must account for inflation. I guess it's the way to try to, say, gotcha. But I think if you actually are like really into this inflation thing and gotcha, then all of your companies and stars absolutely suck. Jim Londos just smashed everybody 6 ways from Sunday. So that puts the end of that tribalism. And then we've got The Gate, 3 million. Didn't have anything on attendance specifically outside the 28 to 29 that Tony Khan said at the press conference. For the record, WrestleTix lists the attendance of All In as 26,153, which is very good, actually. I think last year I did predict it would hit like 40,000 because it was like, this is their WrestleMania, big stadium, people going to travel. But I don't think they've quite branded it to the level that WWE has yet, to say the least, of WrestleMania. So even the big show of the year that you can't miss, they got a ways to go to make that like, you're going to do 40, 50,000 every year. They also announced a return to Wembley, which says here, WrestlingObserver.com, the show will emanate from the famed venue on Sunday, August 30th. I recommend adding a year next time, because it didn't say the year, but I believe that will be 2026 is when they will be there. So hopefully we'll go to that one. I like going to London. It's fun.
So really, all that counter-programming just ended up being a rib on like you and Dave and other people that cover all this stuff?
Well, I've been thinking about all this counter-programming, and like I didn't go to All In, and part of it was there was so much stuff that weekend. But I mean, if we're being honest, I could have easily watched everything. I mean, it's not hard. It's not like I have to be at my house to watch a bunch of shows. But there were two things. Number one, it's one thing to fly from here to Vegas and back. It's cheap. But when I was pricing out flights to go to All In, plus I would have to have had a hotel for a couple of days. It was like, I ain't spending that kind of money. I mean, actually, it would have been more likely if there'd been a bunch of shows around the area I could have gone to, like with WrestleMania. And the other thing is, by staying home, some people got really mad that I stayed home, like I wasn't doing my job or whatever. But it's like, are you a subscriber or are you not a subscriber? Because if you're a subscriber, do you know how much better it was that I stayed home? You guys got 6 shows over 2 days, which in no universe could have possibly happened if I would have gone to that show. So Vinny and I watched every show. We did a show after every show, and I did 2 shows with Dave. So, like, if you're someone paying for this service, I mean, I don't know how you can complain that I didn't go to this show. You got way more than your money's worth. And honestly, I'm not going to say it was easy because it wasn't, but it was actually pretty fun, I have to say, to have done that. I felt like an Iron Man at the end of the weekend. Got it all done. So there you go. It was worth it.
Big sleepover with Vinny. What more can you ask for?
Well, we didn't have a sleepover. This poor guy. He drove here and back for both of those shows when 405 was shut down. So he had to do back roads. It's 40 minutes on the freeway to get here. He had to take back roads to get here and back. So, Great American Bash, Fallout edition of NXT, 586, down 15%, and the 18 to 49 was a .12.
It was head-to-head with, like, the All-Star game or something?
Yeah, MLB All-Star game. And if you guys want to know, like, that All-Star game, 7 million viewers on Fox, a 1.43 in 18 to 49, and this 18 to 49 on NXT was abysmal. A .12 is the lowest the show has done since February 7, 2023. So a lot of times, the NXT viewers, they'll watch NXT over anything. Like, that asteroid can be coming towards the Earth, and we got like 7 hours left, and they'll watch NXT instead of the news. But not this time. They watched that All-Star game. And then for the Dynamite show, the All-In Fallout, 588, which was down 8%, and a .15 in 18 to 49, which was also the lowest rating the show has done since April 23rd. They didn't have any MLB, but they had the ESPY Awards, which I can't imagine could have made, that big a difference. So, this is an ongoing thing for Dynamite, I know people will get mad, but it's just a fact. They do a great job convincing their fans that their pay-per-views are very important. And the pay-per-views do very well. They sell a lot of tickets to the shows. They sell a lot of merch. They do a lot of buys for the pay-per-views. But they have not convinced their fans that the TV is imminently important. The fans have not been convinced that the post-pay-per-view shows are important. And a lot of that is because many times there have been post-pay-per-view events like the TV, the Dynamite after a pay-per-view, which have just sort of been shows. And they need to educate their fans that the TV is important, and they haven't got there yet. So they've done a great job with pay-per-view, but, their fans have been conditioned that, you don't really need to see that post-pay-per-view TV show.
Well, I think when your calling card is the best wrestling and the best wrestling matches, coming off a 8-hour event of great wrestling matches, tuning in for more great wrestling matches, there's probably a degree of drop-off. You invest big into the pay-per-view, and it's like, the matches the next show aren't going to be as important.
Jelly Roll has got some more appearances lined up. He's going to be on the July 25th SmackDown, the August 1st SmackDown. By the way, I talked about this Travis Scott fella, and how it looks like he's done. And Jelly Roll, I guess, I don't know if he... Listen, guys, I don't get this video game stuff, okay? If I get the details wrong, don't get mad at me, but, whatever Travis Scott was doing in the game, I don't know if it was a DLC or something like that, Jelly Roll ended up getting it. Jelly Roll is getting the SummerSlam tag match, which originally was going to be a tag match involving Travis Scott and Bad Bunny. Now Jelly Roll is in there. Bad Bunny is still on good terms with the company, but he didn't say his name. He didn't outright say his name, but Triple H did, at the press conference they did this weekend. He did pretty much say, You know, we got guys that, like, they say they're all in, they say they're going to do this, they say they're going to do that, and then they don't. Whereas you got guys like Jelly Roll, he says, and Bad Bunny, and he rattles off these other guys, and he puts them over. So I guess, Travis Scott, my presumption, I'm not reporting this because I don't know like 100%, but I do know he's pretty much done. And my presumption is that Triple H just told you why. A guy that, like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm committed, and then turns out, well, maybe he's not. Back in a moment with your Q&A questions, everybody. Get ready. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful.
It's Bryan Alvarez and Big Vinny V, and we hope that you enjoy the show.
Should I do one more time? Huh? I played the entire song before realizing I had not hit record.
I figured as much.
So I had to start the entire show over again. Uh-oh. Is my internet down? My internet died.
Yeah.
All right. Stand by, everybody. Hi, everybody. We're back. And we're just gonna barrel on through, right, Vinny? What do we have on that Facebook thing? Now it says no audio. Jared, do we have audio?
I can hear you.
Honestly, what is going on?
Yeah, we just watched a movie
What
about
is
this.
up with my internet? Lost everybody again. Curry says no problems with the Big Vinny V show.
His words.
Not since the first one.
I was gonna say the very
There have
first
been
one was a
Many
disaster.
problems. Many
Yes.
problems.
We've had quite a few.
Yeah, and you know what I do? I just barrel on through.
Brian.
Barrel on through should be the name of this show. What the hell's going on this week? Like every single show, something goes terribly wrong. Today, I didn't have the music set to go at first. Then I got it set to go, but I forgot to hit record. Finally, I hit record and got the song going right. Golly. One disaster after another here. We're starting 15 minutes late. I still can't find the video, Jared. Is it up? Where is everything? Granny's joining us here today via phone. We cannot connect our audio or video. It's a blank screen. I don't know what's going on. What are we doing? Should we just quit today? I don't know what the problem is, Granny. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what's going on. We still have no video. I got a question. Where's the goddamn video at?
You gotta fire Jared.
All right, now it's up. Hello, everybody.
This is the one you told me to do last week, Undertaker plus Psycho Kid.
Okay.
Are you done laughing?
Yeah, we're done.
Yes, Granny, I apologize.
There'll be more.
Then Psycho Sid comes out with blonde curly hair. Hard to pull. Lasts a while before he gets out of it. I had to give that a 10.
A 10.
Oh, wow.
Undertaker won a match and a belt. That's a 10 on the Granny scale.
Victor is still at it more than ever this week, as far as the soaps go.
Hell of a report, Granny.
All right.
That was a 10 on the Granny soap opera report scale.
Okay, just a minute.
Jared, you're forgiven. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Oh, I forgot to do something.
You didn't set up the line.
No, I'm not doing phones. We're going to do Q&A on YouTube and Twitch. So if you have questions for Lance or myself, post them in the chat, and you may have to repost them here and there. Chat goes quick. I'll do my best, but I gotta look for something. So in the meantime, this is a question from one of the Twitch homies here. I go to a lot of local indies. I think, how could they potentially grow to a national brand? Do you think an indie could ever become a national brand?
I think that's a real challenging thing. I would think that on some fronts, that's what Scott D'Amore may be trying with Maple Leaf Pro. in Canada, but it's hard. You know, a national brand, by definition, requires, for the most part, national television, as well as travel. Like, I don't think, even if a local indie, you know, in Seattle, if Defy got a television deal, it's like, to really be a national brand, you got to tour nationally and tape nationally, or it feels like it's just a local show that's got great television reach, as someone's cutting the lawn outside my window.
I was gonna say, is this Semper Vivi again?
It seems
What's with
that
this
way.
guy chopping your whatever?
So,
Just
but
like
yeah,
Luther got his what chopped off, I heard.
that doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
But I think it would be very
Karma.
difficult to go to a national promotion from an indie level at this point. Even Billy Corgan's NWA. It's like, is that considered a national promotion? I don't know. Like, what's the definition of a national promotion? To me, it's national television and touring, and that's a big expense.
I would say it's, at this point, mostly. Well, if you're talking like touring for the television taping, yes. But like virtually nobody does house shows anymore.
I
Sucks.
just mean actually selling tickets and having shows around the country to record your television.
All right, so I was busy looking something up. So it was announced today, and this actually is astounding and not astounding at the same time. It was announced today that Kurt Angle is now a part of Real American Freestyle Wrestling.
Yes, we announced that yesterday.
Okay. Serve as live event commentator, analyst, and partner. And, he did a big thing and everything. Did you guys talk about how this guy don't come cheap? I mean, I'm not going to give, like, numbers or anything like that, but let me make this abundantly clear, everyone. Okay? I know this from not actual personal experience, because I didn't spend the money, but I know this from personal experience. This guy does not come cheap, okay? He does not come cheap. And this Real American Freestyle is kicking off on August 30th, okay? They're running the Wolstein Center on the CSU campus, which, for basketball, seats 13,000. And if you add additional floor seating, you can put 15,000 people in there.
They will not be doing that.
If you're doing concerts and pro wrestling, okay? So basically, it's a 15,000 seat building, all right? As of 2 days ago, they have sold 639 tickets. And the tickets have been on sale for a long time. I don't know exactly how long, but it feels like months. So they are averaging, if I can do the math right here, let's see, 182 tickets over the last week. They're averaging 26 tickets a day. This sounds like a really bad idea. Hulk Hogan has vanished off the face of the earth. He's got whatever's going on health-wise.
Yeah, if you listen to Bubba the Love Sponge, he's in real bad shape.
And if you listen to Bubba, he's like near death.
Although I don't recommend listening to Bubba.
Yeah, I mean, you don't listen to Bubba. But, I mean, something's clearly going on. I mean, it is true he has not been seen in public in quite a while. So that's not good. But his family is saying that, like, everything Bubba's saying is way blown out of proportion. But anyway, he's not around. As far as I know, Eric Bischoff is mostly just lifting weights and doing stuff with DDP. You seen Eric Bischoff?
I have, yes.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know, man. But anyway, yeah, this ain't looking good. So that's that. All right, let's move on to the questions right here. This person here says, what do you think AEW can do to make the Dynamite After All-In something that more fans care about? Well, I've watched AEW for a long time, and they were always, I thought, very, very good at go-home shows. You know, the go-home show to here's what we're doing here. And, you know, if you watch, like, All-In did, like, extremely well. Do you guys remember, it was only like 3 weeks ago that everybody was saying, man, dude, we're like 3 weeks away and we only got like 4 advertised matches. Like, we got to get some stuff going here. This is a normal thing, you know. By the go-home show, you know, everything that's happening on the show except for maybe the pre-shows, it's a great go-home show. The pay-per-views always do well, okay? But historically, the show after the pay-per-view, you know, golly, I mean, I don't like doing, you know, here's how WWE does it, but, I mean, you watch a WWE show, and it's like, that first show after a pay-per-view is all about telling you what a giant event it was. And this happened, and that happened, and we're going to hear from this winner and that winner. And, you know, we're going to do, there might be a debut, or this person that debuted is going to kick off the show, or, I mean, you pretty much couldn't miss the show after the pay-per-view. They've trained you. You can't miss that show. There's going to be something big going on, or they're going to, like, you know, start the rocket towards the next pay-per-view or whatever. I mean, that's how it is. With AEW, I mean, there have been many shows where it's like, you know, I'm trying to think of the one. There was like something that happened. There was like a big thing. It may be a Kenny Omega return or a Young Bucks big. There was something happened. And it's like, there was no follow-up on the next show. Like, whoever it was wasn't even on the show. It's like, what?
It is also so much harder for AEW because Raw is the night after. It's often in the same market, so fans buy tickets to both, and you get a hotter audience following up because they're ones who watch the pay-per-view live, and it's a lot easier to transfer the excitement over to tune in tomorrow rather than tune in 3 days. So it's a lot harder for AEW. I think that needs to be taken into account.
Well, it is, but I mean, there are a lot of things that you can talk about. Like, how do we not have virtually anything for the Dynamite after the pay-per-view? It's one thing if, like, WWE runs a pay-per-view on Sunday, and then Monday morning you're not sure what's on Raw, and then they announce it throughout the afternoon. I mean, AEW's pay-per-view was Saturday. And on Wednesday, it's like we had one match, and they said that Hangman and Tony were going to be there. That's it. It's like we still don't have anything. And then, you know, the explanation I often hear is, well, you know, we're not sure who's going to be available because, like, you know, people get hurt all the time on the shows. And to me, it's like, okay, so maybe we need to, like, have a big, like, we got to think about what's going on here. If so many people are getting hurt, you can't even put a show together until 30 minutes before the show because you don't know who's not hurt. That's a problem. That's a big problem, okay? So I thought that the Dynamite on Wednesday was actually a pretty good show. You opened up with the new champion. They had a video package for what happened after the show. You know, they had some matches where now we know, okay, it's going to be Hechicero and Bandito. It's going to be MJF and probably MJF's got the briefcase, so probably something with him and Hangman. And Tony Storm and Athena. Like, we know, like, they did a good job building up, okay, this is where we're going for a lot of things. But, you know, that's this show. You've conditioned people that wasn't going to happen maybe on this show. And so you didn't have a huge audience. So conditioning takes time. It's not something that you just, hey, got to watch the show now. So they need to slowly, like, these post-pay-per-view Dynamites need to be big deals, big debuts, big angles, whatever. Yeah. Let people know it's going to be a big thing.
I think they could consider the old formula that WWE used to with house shows when they'd be in Toronto, like, every month. It's like somewhere in the middle of the pay-per-view, cut an angle that before the end of the pay-per-view, you can announce will be followed up on Dynamite.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, it was just 3 or 4 weeks ago or whatever that they had the show in Kent, and they literally shot an angle for a match involving the patriarchy, but didn't announce it until the day of the show on social media. It's like, dude, you shot the angle. Why didn't you just announce it then? Why did you wait? I don't know, man. It's weird. All right, let's see what else we got here. What does Lance remember about the Young and the Wrestlers feature, or the Young and the Wrestlers feature? Oh, on him and Chris Jericho on local Canadian TV. I guess there was a Young and a Wrestlers.
Yes, it was a 3-piece mini, documentary is a bit of a stretch, but it was a guy covering basically the demise of the territories, talking to the CNWA, was probably the group we were working, maybe Canadian Rocky Mountain Wrestling. The local promotion sort of trying to survive post-Stampede. That was the first segment. The middle segment was Chris Jericho and I as the young trying to make it in the business show. And then they had a third piece on Brett, who was the current WWF champion at the time. So it was sort of the status of the business currently, the young guys trying to make it, and the local guy that was on top at the time. And it was a lot of fun. I think we just went over to the guy who was producing the documentary's house and barbecued some steak and sat down and did an interview. And it was a good show. I've got a copy of it somewhere on a DVD. It was like Real West or something, I think was something like that, something West. And it was an interesting documentary, and I'm guessing 91, 92.
So I got another one here. I don't want to get on AEW, but these are the answers to these questions. This guy here says, Brian, any idea why Tony is not using connections to get better marketing and production? Okay, listen. The issue is not who is doing the marketing and who is doing the production. The issue, and I like Tony Khan, but he's the be-all and end-all, okay? Let's imagine, Lance, you are in charge of marketing for AEW, okay? There's an event coming to Calgary, okay? How can you do your job if you don't have any idea who's going to be on the show?
Because my first question as the marketer would be, who is on the show and when can I have them for local promotion?
Well, if Tony doesn't have a lineup, or we don't know who's going to be on the show, or how can you do it? Or production. He's got Mike Mansory, okay, who worked for WWE, and don't pretend like this guy doesn't understand production. But at the end of the day, what does Tony want to do with production? Tony's going to make the call. If Tony doesn't want this, or if he does want this, or if he doesn't want that, you were hired for production, but he's the boss. So I hate to say it, but if you're not happy with the marketing and production of AEW, it's on Tony. Because I even talked about that on Saturday. I'm making all the final calls. I'm the committee. So, yeah, I mean, it's not like they don't have marketing people or production people, but you still have to go through Tony for all of this. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Okay, can everyone hear it?
Yeah.
There's a mystery bell at Granny's house. She can't hear it. Take off your headphones for a second.
I had them on wrong anyway.
Okay.
I can't get them on right. What?
Right, take them off and listen.
You have in your elbow?
Is the fan on a computer?
Nothing.
All right. Well, this is going to be an exciting show.
Gonna have bells ringing through the whole thing, and it's every week. It's got to be me.
Do you have a neighbor that's an ice cream man
No,
practicing out there?
I got a neighbor that smokes marijuana.
I'm sure you do. I guess
Whatever that noise is, I mean, it's still going.
Yeah, it's not going to stop, dude.
Brian, do you want me to get off here and go see if open the door and see if there's anything out there?
You think something's out the front door?
Is he ringing the bell the entire time?
Yeah. No, Granny, you don't.
Let me in. Let me in.
It's fine. It's fine.
If it's death, don't open the door.
Thank you, Craig. This person thinks it's a stove timer.
Have you burned the roast?
No, I don't have a stove. You want me to just get off here?
No. We're going to barrel through it.
I'd love it.
You're not even doing anything. Granny, Nick says that you've got an old-fashioned analog alarm clock in Terry's bedroom.
I don't know. I got a new alarm clock, battery operated. Is that what she meant?
Well, whatever it is, it's going haywire right now.
Oh, it might be my alarm,
You think?
but it's way back in the bedroom.
Don't worry about it right now. But when the show's over, you might want to go.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Solve the mystery.
Is there a reason you didn't turn it off when it started ringing?
Well, I wasn't in there. I didn't.
Duh.
I took a nap. I took a nap and set the alarm. I thought I shut it off, but I probably didn't.
No.
You probably didn't.
That's life.
I would say with a good deal of certainty that you didn't turn it off.
Brian, that's life around here.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I do the show with Dave, too.
Say,
Hear all sorts of things in the background.
did I do that? You know,
Yeah, you did do that.
or I thought I did that, but I didn't.
In there.
I wake up and I see lights on, and I say, I didn't turn those lights on. What's going on?
Maybe the place is haunted.
Could be.
Okay.
It's my brain that's haunted.
Well, I hope not. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. So according to Filthy, the All-Star Game for the first time ever went to a home run derby swing-off. So maybe that's partially the reason that NXT got obliterated on this past Tuesday night. All right, anything else you want to get into here? Let's get a final Slammiversary plug-in.
Yeah, Slammiversary live on pay-per-view this Sunday. Trick Williams defending the TNA title against Mike Santana and Joe Hendry. And the Knockouts champion, Masha Slamovich, will be defending her title against JC Jane, who is also defending the NXT Women's Champion. We are going to crown a double champion at Slammiversary. And again, AJ Styles will be there in some capacity, so the show is going to be phenomenal.
Yep, and Vinny and I are going to be watching the Slammiversary. I believe Craig as well, although we haven't heard back. We're going to watch that on Sunday and do a Bryan and Vinny show afterwards covering Slammiversary. So that's the plan for this coming Sunday. And that means I may get to barbecue. Like
Nice.
I wouldn't do that anyway.
Pork chops?
Stop. God, what a troll. You and Granny. Both of you. You gonna be at that Hawaiian gimmick tomorrow afternoon at the old folks' home?
Not going to make it. I'm on a flight.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, likely excuse. Anyway, thanks, Lance. Filthy yesterday. And, of course, all of our YouTube and Twitch friends. If you're a YouTube subscriber, by the way, you can always comment on the members-only shows. I've been trying to go in and answer questions and that sort of thing. So that's f4wonline.com/YouTube. You get all of the shows and the replays and everything like that. And we'll be back later on this weekend with more, everybody. So thanks as always. We'll talk to you next time. Wrestling Observer Live.